Welcome to solverfy.
When given a certain quantity of a substance to be changed into another substance, it's usually helpful to draw a visual diagram or a roadmap to show the conversions necessary. So, for example, if you know that you have a given volume or 1 cubic foot of a substance called lead 2 sulfide with a density of 7.46 grams per cubic centimeter, you can find out what this quantity is in moles. We're starting off with a volume. And so before we can find out how many moles, we need to change that to mass. And we do that using the density. Once we have the mass, we can change to moles using the molar mass of the substance. So we're given the density in the problem, and before we start to do the conversions, we should find the molar mass of lead 2 sulfide. So we have to figure out the formula of this compound. Lead 2 means it's a Pb ion with a 2 plus charge, and sulfide is S2 minus. So the formula for this compound is Pbs, because for every positive there is a negative. To find the molar mass of this compound, we use the atomic masses given on the periodic table and add them up. So first we find the atomic mass for lead, which is 207.2, plus the atomic mass of sulfur, 32.06. Those are both found on the periodic table. Adding them together, 1 mole has a mass of 239.6 grams. 0.26 grams. So now we can do our conversions. Start off with a given quantity, 1 cubic foot. And when we look at our density, we see the volume unit is in centimeters, so we have to change it from feet to centimeters. 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. Because it's a cubic foot, we need to cube the whole quantity to get cubic centimeters. We can then go to mass using our density, multiplying, because we want the mass, and that allows our cubic centimeters to cancel out. And then we know that 1 mole has a mass of 239.26 grams. So if we multiply 1.00 times 30.48 cubed times 7.46 and divide by 239.26, we find this is equivalent to 883 moles of lead sulfide. We can look at a similar problem that finds not just moles, but atoms. If we have a given volume, in this case, 1 cubic decimeter, of the same compound with the same density, we can find out how many atoms are present. We start with volume in our roadmap, which we change to mass, again using the density. To get to atoms, we have to first go to moles from mass. So we again use the molar mass. Once we have moles, we can go to molecules. And we do this using Avogadro's number because every mole contains the same number of molecules. And finally, to get to the number of atoms, we look at the ratio from the chemical formula. So again, we start off in our conversion with our given volume, 1 cubic decimeter. Because our density is in centimeters, we need to change that to cubic centimeters. And there are 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter. To change it to cubic centimeters, we need to cube the entire quantity to change it to cubic decimeters. For mass, we multiply by density, 7.46 grams for every 1 cubic centimeter. And then we go to moles. Using the molar mass we found above, 1 mole is equal to 239.26 grams. For molecules, we know that 1 mole of any substance contains 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd units, which in this case is a molecule. And finally, when we look at the ratio of lead atoms and lead molecules, for every 1 molecule of lead sulfide, there's 1 lead atom because it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So multiplying 1.00 times 10 cubed times 7.46 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd and dividing it by the molar mass gives us 1.88 times 10 to the 25th atoms of lead.